Hello, everybody. Welcome back to LocalEyes 5 and 5. Today's guest is a leader in the localization industry, but I'm super happy to have him here with us today, not just because of his involvement in different verticals within the industry, but for his active roles of mentoring and driving teams to success. Please welcome John O'Keefe. Welcome, John. How are you?
I'm good, thanks, Dario. Great to be here. It's going to be an interesting ride for the next few minutes.
Great to have you here. I can see from your face already that you feel a lot of pressure already for the 5 minutes.
Exactly. This is something new for me, so we'll see how it goes.
Well, that's perfect. Target achieved. Perfect. So just to give everybody a bit of a background, John is currently the Director of Localization at Captionmax and has had leadership roles in Mirror Brink. It was the head of European operation, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yeah.
And then the head of global operations at ULG. Has been involved in different industries, sorry for my English today, before moving to localization, but you'll tell us more with question 2. Anything you want to say before we get started?
No, it's like I said earlier, it's new to me. This is something new to me, so it's going to be an interesting experience. So part of me is looking forward to it. Part of me is kind of dreading it. So let's see how we get on.
I promise I'm not going to edit anything. I'm not going to cut anything. I'll just leave it there. So whatever happens, I'll just publish it online. I don't want to be responsible for anything.
Thank you.
So let's get started with question number 1.
Go.
Cool. That's when it starts. So the first 2 questions are the same for all speakers. The first question, again, is something that happened to all of us, trying to explain what we do on a daily basis to someone that has absolutely no clue about what we do on a daily basis. So, John, how would you describe our industry to someone that has never worked in translation? Your time starts now.
Yeah, I think you have to tell people it's a really interesting industry. I mean, it's all about communication, and therefore it touches everything we do in life. It touches business, it touches legal, medical, and just communication in general, and communication tools that drive our world today, or web apps or internet. Somebody who's involved in the industry is doing translation or localization of all of that. And it really means that if you're a multilingual speaker, right, it's an opportunity to get into to really enjoy learning. Every day you're coming across new material, and yet you're applying your skills. And it's what's fascinating about it is that it's generally not just word for word translation. It's about localization, and localization is really about taking the message from one language or one culture and making it understandable and appropriate and fit another language and another culture. I think it's fascinating. And in the space I'm in now, in the media space, it's so interesting because with the streaming channels, the whole environment has changed. Yeah. There's so much material to be localized, whether it's news material or entertainment material or sports or whatever it is. And we've seen such a change in the world in such a short time. Netflix started out with all English material being translated into languages around the world. Yeah. And now we're at like local content popping up around the world and being translated into multiple languages. That's true. I mean, a major step forward or major breakthrough, I think, was the Oscars this year, where Parasite is the first non-English language movie to win Best Picture. It's subtitled. And I think if we're trying to capture the localization business in one moment and how much it's part of the world, I think that might capture it. So yeah. Fascinating, interesting, and a continuously learning experience. That's probably what I'd say.
That's cool. That's a great answer. Now, communication is definitely the key.
Yeah.
We're probably here. If someone asks you what you do for a living, and you say I work in translation and localization, and they say what, and you say, well, it's all about communication. That could open. How do you explain that? That's
yeah, it's a big picture. Then you can talk about all sorts of things when you get into the communication side of things.
John, 2 minutes and 5 seconds for question number 1. it's almost half of the time you have. So you have to concentrate all of your answers. So John, question number 2 is a bit more personal, and one of my favorites. How did you get started in the industries? We all have different stories. What's yours? Timer starts now.
Mine starts with, like most things in my life, with a cup of coffee. About 6 years ago, I'm a relative newcomer, so about 6 years ago, I was sitting with a friend of mine, having a cup of coffee. I had a very long history in life sciences, in operations and R&D. And I was sitting there saying, I'm looking for something new. I'm looking for a challenge. And he was sitting on the other side of the table, and he kind of looked at me and he went, well, we have an operations role, but it's localization. It's nothing like you've ever done before. And that led to another conversation. And 3 months later, I was operations manager at Merrill Brink. So it was right time, right place, wrong time, wrong place. But that's what brought me into the industry. And it's been an interesting ride.
That's great. Yeah, that's a great story. When this kind of things happen and they are random, most of the things are good.
Yeah, mostly.
So, John, well, you have 2 minutes and 10 seconds left for the next 3 questions. And I think that's
going to be a struggle. Go ahead.
The third question is related to what you do right now, captions and subtitles. Somehow I think the importance of captioning and subtitling is not fully understood sometimes, or it's underestimated. So since you're in the industry and you're a veteran in the industry as well, why are captions and subtitles so important? And the timer starts now.
Yeah, okay. It's all about expanding the audience. I mean, at a global level, something like 460 million people are hearing impaired. So just at that level, captions makes the media, the video accessible. They can understand it and enjoy it. That community can understand it and enjoy it. But subtitles themselves obviously expand the understanding of content right across the globe through hundreds of languages at this point. And things are changing in our industry as well. So today you have a whole generation of people who consume content, media content in their phones, on the go, and generally with earphones in, but even still, they're in noisy spaces. So we're seeing a lot of application for captions and subtitles to help them and play on the phone as they're commuting. And the other area is communication, like I spoke about already, corporate communication in particular, with the COVID, even more so, getting communication across the world in terms of helping understanding that communication. Employees around the world are getting the communication in their own language in the subtitles.
It might sound silly, but one thing that I noticed, I have 2 young kids. My daughter just started reading and writing, and she watches a lot of Netflix. So whenever the subtitles are on, one of the things that I noticed, it's passive, let's call it passive learning, but she starts to recognize words, and she gets back, look, Daddy, I saw that word. So there's also that element. It's obviously the whole accessibility aspect, which is probably the most important. Reaching market, it's another important one. But there are very small things that might not be immediately.
That's true. Yeah, and that learning side is definitely one of them. There's no doubt. Yeah,
it's cool. I can see, like, my daughter, basically her eyes they start sparkling. They're like, oh, look, I found a word. So it's cute.
That's cool. Yeah.
John, you have 1 minute for the next 2 questions.
2 questions. Okay, let's see what we can do. The first one's going to have to be very short, then, isn't it?
We agree on a code, like I scratch my head 30 seconds. The next question is really about the media and entertaining industry as a whole, which is exploding. It's booming right now. From a localization point of view, is it a challenge? Is it an opportunity? What's your opinion?
It's both, without a doubt. It's a challenge because the volume is growing so much that getting the resources to do the work is difficult. It's an opportunity because there's business out there, and there's an opportunity for people to build their career in the industry. The biggest challenge right now will be getting new people into the industry over the next couple of years, new subtitlers, translators, dubbing artists, etc., to keep up with the volume.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of a common theme right now. Even when I'm talking to speakers in this format, the topic of missing resources or
yes,
how hard it is to find technical and skilled resources is an issue for the industry. I don't know if it's a matter of, there's something that we need to change in how.
I mean, I was at an online conference just a couple of weeks back, and one of the themes was just that: how do we get people into the industry? And the companies in the media industry were talking about training people and trying to bring subtitlers in and try to bring sound engineers into the industry, because there's just not enough of those resources around for what's coming down the track over the next 3 to 5 years.
Well, you heard it here too. You know where to go, guys. If you want to get started in the industry, you know exactly what the path is right now for the next couple of years at least. So, John, 24 seconds left.
Okay. That's a big. The last question is a big topic.
Obviously, one of the biggest themes in the industry right now is artificial intelligence and machine translation. Some are scared of it. Some see that as an opportunity. Some think that will change the industry completely. What's your opinion? Even as you just said, there's a shortage of people. There's a shortage of translators. The industry is suffering. Let's say from this point of view. Is AI going to replace us all? Will the humans still be needed? What's your opinion? 24 seconds, starting from now.
Okay, short answer is the humans will still be needed. I think the human in the loop concept is the answer. I think AI and MT, they're improving, they're not there. They will never be there for some aspects of our business. So post-editing, and finishing will be the future with the human in the loop.
John, 5 minutes, 1 second. That's only 1 second. It's not too bad. Congratulations. I interrupted you here and there, so we can consider this as less than the 5 minutes of the format. So well done. Well done.
Thank you. That was narrowed down the last couple of ones, but we got there.
We got there somehow. One curiosity about this interview that we're recording, this is the first interview of the format entirely recorded in Ireland. So we're both in Ireland now. And I think I can see it from your screen there. To celebrate, it's strangely sunny outside. I don't know what's happening.
Yes, it is actually. It's one of those rare. Last 4 days have been constant rain, but there is actually a little sun out there right now.
That is true. Well, let's celebrate. Let's just go on now.
We're done.
It's been an enormous pleasure to have you with us today. Is there anything you wanted to say before closing the interview?
No, it's like I said at the outset, it's been an interesting experience. I didn't realize time moved that quickly. A new learning for me.
Yeah, no, it does. That's a problem. So it's a problem with everything. So John, it's been an enormous pleasure again, and thanks a lot for being with us. It's been extremely interesting. Thanks a lot for your answers and your insights. And guys, stay tuned for the next few episodes. I think we got some very good speakers coming up for the next few weeks. So see you back again at LocalEyes 5 and 5. Thanks again, John. Goodbye.
Good night. Thank you.